way of shenanigans. But we're going to get our guest in here, Jaron Smith. Jaron Smith. I think it's Jaron Smith. We're going to hope it's Jaron Smith. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, he's nowhere to be found. We're going to do this. We're going to go get Why is there 6 people? What's going on here? Remove him from the call. Remove him from the call. Why is there 35 people here? What's going on here? I need to get in there. I need to get in there. Okay. There he is, the man about town. I believe IQL Rizzoli has joined us. How are you, sir?
Can you hear me?
I've got you. I've got to add our guest, and I've got to add the fantastic man about town, Mr. Don Mazzella, in here as well. But IQL Rizzoli with us. So IQ, while I'm waiting on all this stuff to happen, get everybody in here. What did you watch the debate? Because I've talked to 3 people today. Larry Tracy, Roger Homefield, I believe somebody else, and they're all like, I didn't watch the debate. Did you watch the debate, IQ?
I mean, if Trump wasn't there, why should I listen to that?
Exactly. That's that. You know, I told Larry Tracy earlier today that I need to get me a T-shirt that says, if Trump is not there, I do not care, and wear it at all these debates. Because this is the craziest thing. I know that there's a lot of people that say that, and I even said this on a couple of occasions, that they essentially are playing for second. They are playing for vice president. However, the other day, Trump said he's not picking any of those people. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't even know why they're wasting their time.
No, they try to play for second. That's it.
You know, there used to be a thing that they used to have it on ESPN. It was called The World's Strongest Man, and they have all these guys, and they would always be, you know, pulling trucks and going up hills and doing all this crazy stuff. And there was a guy who was in this event. He won it like 7 years in a row. His name was Mariusz Pudzianowski, and he looked like he was cut out of granite.
Please leave your message for 2024665.
But he looked like he was cut out of stone. And I always used to say the minute they introduced him, everyone else was playing for second. And I feel that way with Trump in this Republican thing. They're all playing for second. But we have got the fantastic Don Mazzella joining us, who looks like a very cold Don Mazzella. You know, I was up in New Jersey last week, and it was kind of decently warm. Someone tried to talk.
I wouldn't mind, but you were 20 minutes from my house. You didn't even tell me.
I thought you moved. I thought you were in like.
Yeah, I'm in Wilmington, but I'm 25 minutes from the Philadelphia Art Museum.
You know. Damn it. Well, I'm going to go back there next year, and I'm also going to do some other things next year. And I went to the on the way back, I made Brittany stop at the Rocky Steps, and I had to run up the steps. And then she yelled at me to get in the car and stop being a mark. So, we have.
Did you eat the eggs?
No, I should have. I should have been. You know, I did get to go, and Dawn, you might have knowledge of this because you're from that area. Michael Nagy, my photographer, who lives in Newark, I think, he took me to the greatest place I've ever been. It is a convenience store without gas, as far as like I'm concerned. He took me to this place called Wawa.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He knows what Wawa is.
There's sandwich is considered the best sandwich in a restaurant in America.
I loved the hell out of Wawa. I love the hell out of this.
Fantastic.
I also, I was amazed. You go up to this kiosk, you order the food, you can go get all your stuff in the store, you go back over, food's done. It's amazing. I'm all about the Wawa. We even, which I of course had to laugh like a little girl when I did this, but we had to pick up water. Giant thing of a case of water for the Airbnb that we were staying in. And I was joking with Michael Nagy that I got Wawa at the Wawa. But it's just me being a child. I also, and I didn't know this thing existed either until I seen one of the porn stars that I know was eating there, and I'm like, I have to go there. We went there. And I'm still eating the food that we got from there. We went to Harold's Deli.
Yes.
And we ordered a sandwich. And Brittany had her sandwich for lunch, dinner, breakfast the next day. I think she's still eating it. Those sandwiches were massive. Yes. And then we ordered a slice of chocolate cake, which you could pretty much feed that to 3 people. So, and what was great, and Dawn will appreciate this. I always pay attention to things around me. And one of the things that I noticed was there was these 2 guys that came in. I think it was a father and son, and they sat down and they were talking about going and doing something together. I don't know what it was. Maybe they were going to go to a play, something. And this kid looks at his dad and he goes, I don't know if I can go because football's on. And his dad looks at him and he goes, the Giants aren't on. Not football. The Giants aren't on. I was like, okay. So I thought that was interesting. So, yes, we got to experience the New Jersey, but I'll tell you, this Wawa, these things were everywhere.
They're a private company, otherwise I'd invest in them tomorrow. But they're a private company.
Something else that I saw, which I tried to get photos of, but we were never at the stoplight long enough. There was these 2 gas stations, and they were probably as far as maybe a hop, skip, and a jump. I'd say probably 10 steps from each other. They were across the street. One had gas for $3.65, and the other had it for $5.65. What in the world is going on, Don? They're right across the street from each other.
No, yes, but I bet you one of them had a car wash attached to it.
Oh, really?
No, that's a difference in price. Is the higher price? At least that's the way it is in Wilmington here. The higher price includes a car wash.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
$15 gets you one level, $20 gets you another level, then $25 gets you a different level. Do it all the time.
Well, something else, which I kind of got a tickle out of, was Brittany pulls up to get gas somewhere, and this guy comes out and fills her tank. And she's like, full service? I've never had full service. I said,
New Jersey is the last state in the union which requires that an attendant to fill your gas. It's
That
the
was
last
amazing.
one in this union. There's a long story I can tell you about. This one guy knew where all the bodies were buried in Trenton, and he ran the gas stations association. Anyway, and Nick Delspina. Unfortunately, he's gone now, and eventually it'll go. But anyway,
that's awesome. Well, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed this New Jersey trip a lot better than I enjoyed the previous New Jersey trip about 10 years ago. So I definitely think that we may make this an annual November tradition. We may go to Exotica in New Jersey and just make it a regular thing. Because it was something else. I was kind of depressed though when we came into New Jersey. They have replaced all the tolls with actual tolls. 10 years ago when I was there, they had these tolls where you drove through tunnels and you threw change at the window into these tubes. And I loved the hell out of that. Where you just drive by and just throw change out the window. So I was kind of depressed that those had disappeared. But so we have got Don Mazzella with us today, the fantastic Don Mazzella. We have IQ Al Rizzoli. We're going to try to get a hold of our guest here in a few moments as well, and if not, we'll just talk the whole hour. But Don, I've talked to IQ earlier. I talked to Larry Tracy. I talked to Roger Homefield. None of these people watched the debate. Did you watch the debate?
No. No.
No one watched this thing. I hope the ratings come out later. I want to know who watched this thing.
As long as Trump is not in the debate, there's no reason to.
There is. And that's the thing. There's no reason for him to be in there if you're not going to have, because I guess this is the thing that most people do not understand about debates and what they for instance, when as we all know, Cenk Uygur is running for president on the Democratic side. He's trying to primary Biden. And one of the things he's doing is he's going around and doing various TV and radio appearances. And one of the things he did recently was he was on Timcast, which is the guy on YouTube that he wears a beanie. That's his gimmick. I don't understand the thing. But they were talking about when Hillary and Bernie had their primary last time, and they would schedule these debates. They literally scheduled one the night of the Super Bowl. They scheduled these debates when no one could watch them. And the reason why they did that is because they didn't want anybody seeing and learning about Bernie. They wanted to hear, they wanted everybody to pay attention to the narrative, which was he's just a dangerous socialist and all this stuff that she was putting out there about him. And it's the reverse with the Republicans now, because you have the Republicans who go, oh, Trump's this moron. He's this dangerous guy who wants to end democracy and blah, 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 blah. So people watch these debates, or they don't watch the debates because Trump's not there. And the reason you have a debate is you're supposed to get ideas across. We're supposed to see, for instance, with Hillary and Bernie. Why is Hillary better than Bernie? Why is Bernie better than Hillary? And like with this, why are these guys better, and girls? Why are these guys and girls better than Trump? Or why is Trump better than them? But if you don't have Trump involved, we can't learn anything.
But the unfortunate part is, if you go to a Trump speech or you hear him, he makes unfiltered. He makes great sense. If you to me, if I were Trump, I would have gone on these shows because he would have made mincemeat of them, of his contenders. Because if you listen to his ideas unfiltered by the press, by the media, they're very good ideas. Now, I know that's going to get some reaction from someplace, but I was talking to somebody on Monday, and he said to me, in Washington, it's amazing how many people, once they sit down and read what he says, read it verbatim, they say, you know, these are not crazy ideas.
No,
It's
no,
so
no, and that's always been the thing. I remember when he originally was going to run for president, and he was on Piers Morgan when he had a CNN show. And he was just a businessman. He just had done The Apprentice, and there was all these rumors he was going to run for president. And he had an hour with Piers Morgan, and my TiVo had taped it, and I watched it at like 3 a.m. one night after we had got done covering a local heavy metal concert somewhere. And I was sitting there watching this, and everything that he said, where he talked about how the United States is getting its ass kicked because, you know, we're shipping all the jobs overseas. We're sending all of our money overseas. We've got all these useless wars that we're fighting that do nothing but bleed us of blood and treasure. You know, he's got all these ideas. And he's talking about how we need to bring all these jobs back to the United States. We need to do, you know, Detroit used to be the automotive capital of the world. Why aren't we manufacturing in Detroit anymore? And you listen to all that, and you're like, you know, if this guy ever runs for president, I'm going to vote for him. But then you get him in there, and he starts doing weird things. Like, you know, like one of the things fairly recently that I just shake my head at Trump when things like this happen. But he was doing these press conferences, these weird press conferences where he would leave his trial in New York. He would go out into the hallway, and there's no microphones, there's no yelling. He's just yelling in the hallway at people. I don't understand this, but he's yelling at people in the hallway because there's no microphone set up, there's no nothing. And he has this narrative that he tells everybody. He's like, oh, I've got to be here. Every day they do this trial, I've got to be here. They are preventing me from going and campaigning. I could be in Iowa. I could be doing this. I could be doing that. Oh my God, they're preventing me from campaigning. And this was the Thursday when he cut this promo. And they asked him, they said, are you going to be here tomorrow for the Friday trial? And he said, no, I'm going to a golf tournament. And then he wanders away. And I'm like, dude, you're not helping your case.
Absolutely.
IQ, you are listening to me and Don here, and as you always say, you're the outsider looking in. What in the world do you think of all this?
It's very difficult, honestly. It's what's happening in America is not only sickening, it's frightening.
Yes.
You have two lost generations. I call them deranged human mutants, or in fact, degenerate human mutants.
Yes.
Those who are demonstrating with Hamas against America and Israel. They are degenerate human mutants. They are creatures who look like human beings, talk like human beings, walk like it. But beyond that, they are zombies. Unthinking, irrational zombies. By the way, Don, are you receiving my articles?
Are you getting his articles, Don? Because I get them, and they are very interesting.
I was about to say, IQ, what you should be doing is editing them into a book, because they really do. They really provide a very interesting counterpoint. I don't know if you know it, but I broke my hip. That's what
no, I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. Holy shit!
That's why I wasn't on last week. But anyway. I'm getting better, but I do read it. It's just that I have limited capacity right at the moment. But in your reporting, and I call it reporting because you're giving your view. I think you've done a very good job, IQ, of presenting the Arab-Israeli war as what it. From the viewpoint of the world. And I don't think I've seen it any better, except perhaps on what the Wall Street Journal has been doing. So, and they got a whole
excellent compliments from you. Thank you, my friend.
You know, I'm really serious.
No, I know you're serious. We don't bullshit each other. We don't do that. We're not leftists.
But I've been watching. But can we go there for a second?
Yeah.
And I can say it seems to be that America is trying to pressure the Israelis into easing up on their campaign. And to me, that's the worst decision that they can possibly do. What do you think?
They're not going to do it. They can't do it because they are in a mobile warfare. You can't say, stop. This is not a game. It's a mobile warfare, and they are decimating Hamas. No question. By the way, although it's hard to say that on public, but it's a fact. The number of soldiers killed so far in this war, on the ground war, since the invasion, is about 37, 38 people. Considering they are fighting 30,000 terrorists, that's a very, very low number of casualties. It shows that they are doing a fantastic job. So what's happening? The soldiers at the front and the armed forces at the front identify where the enemy is. Artillery and air force goes in, obliterates them. Fantastic methodology. They have captured now a very important base in the northeast of Gaza. And they discovered a lot of information, top secret information, was supposed to be only for Hamas, but now they've got them. Yes. You are absolutely right. They should not give up or give in.
But the Wall Street Journal is saying that America is pressuring them to loosen their grip and to, in effect, leave. Do you think they should leave?
Leave? Well, leave? Who the hell is going to leave?
Who the hell's going to leave?
Tell us what you really think.
No, they won't leave. But what America is saying, in the long term, they will not allow Israel to control Gaza. Well, we'll see. But the long term is a long way away. At the moment, Israel needs at least another 2 weeks to finish the job.
Well, what do you think is going to be the end result of all this?
There is no end result, honestly. The only destruction of Islam is to destroy their belief system. I'm the only man on earth can do it. In 15 minutes. I know it sounds like a bombast from outer space, but I don't exaggerate because I didn't spend 40 years of my life just to bullshit. No. I can, in an interview given to me on Carlton or Piers Morgan or somebody, I will finish the job. You cannot destroy Islam unless you destroy Muslims. But we're not in the business of exterminating people. What we have to do is destroy the belief system itself. It can be done.
Well, let me ask you this question, IQ. Why do you have the Iranians often gotten very aggressive against American troops?
The Iranians have been always aggressive. They want to take this opportunity to start a general war. You've got to understand the mentality. Islam, by itself, every Muslim, every Sharia-compliant Muslim on earth, 1.6 billion people are the eternal and mortal enemies of every human being on the planet that is a Muslim. This has been going on for 1,400 years. It's not going to change. But what happens is that the European leaders, the American leaders, and all other leaders in the world try to ignore it. Well, okay, you can ignore it, but it's not going to change.
Well, I'm just sitting here. Yes, they've always kind of been harassing, but according to what I've heard and seen, they've really stepped it up over the last 3 months, 3 weeks. Why do you think that? I mean...
Well, I'll tell you, look, I said it in my articles. The attacks that Israel is conducting against Hamas, okay, it's good. But unless you take out the Khomeini regime, the Ayatollah's regime, nothing in the Middle East will be safe. Not Israel and not the Arabs. Destroy the head of the snake. Israel and America today, they have enough armaments to do it within 24 hours.
But America does
I'm
not
not
have the
kidding
will.
with you. Don, I'm not kidding with you. 24 hours, they can completely and utterly destroy the military infrastructure of Iran.
But America doesn't have the will. I think the Israelis do.
It's a matter of will. Exactly. When you have the will, you will always find a way. But you need the will. And it's so easy. It's so easy now. Unbelievable. So easy. They have 2 aircraft carriers with complements. They have the Ohio class cruise missile submarine. The Israelis have the submarines in the Gulf. They have the aircraft. They have all. They're wound up. It's like a coil wound up. They can attack and destroy the infrastructure, military infrastructure of Iran within 24 hours.
I really feel it's going to come down to that at some point soon.
Well, I don't know. In the end, it's definitely going to. There's no question in my mind. Sooner or later, Israel will have to attack Iran. That's it.
Let me ask you, Jiggy, what did Larry Tracy say about how things moving in the Middle East? He's usually pretty well informed.
Well, one of the things that he told me is that it seems like there is a pause right now on different things. I know that just from things that I've read, that seems to be kind of the case. I don't know. This whole thing with the fact that there's all this craziness going on. One of the things that I find odd with all this is that usually when there is war and upheaval and all these things happening, that usually tends to help the incumbent, the person who is already the president, which was a lot of the reason why a lot of people think that George W. Bush went and started that thing in Iraq, because, well, his numbers were not doing well. And there was a potential for things. And I know with Clinton, when he was having some issues, he went and bombed an aircraft carrier or some sort of thing. I would think that if there's all these wars going on, wouldn't that help Biden? But who knows? This is such a weird deal with all this craziness. I think a lot of reason people do the things that they're doing is because it's a way to, and IQ has said it on several times on this show, and he's said it on with Dan as well, and that is, if Trump was in there, none of this crap would be going on.
Well, James and Don, I want to ask
everybody be afraid.
The Republicans lost recently to the Democrats over abortion.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Why did they lose over abortion?
Yeah.
Why? Why over abortion? I'll tell you why. Because the mental capacity of the American people, the leftists, to kill babies is not a problem. That is why many of them support the Hamas movement, because they are killing babies also. So they have the same methodology and the same mentality. Do you agree with that? I mean, does it make sense to you? If you kill babies unborn, you can murder them when they are born. Doesn't matter.
Well, you know, it's interesting. As you know, I've been in combat, and there's always casualties on the civilian side, and no matter what you try to avoid. In fact, if you avoid them, you're more likely to inflict them than if you just let it happen. But I've been really surprised by the ferocity by how badly Hamas went after women and children. And frankly, I still cannot comprehend why they did it. IQ, I'm going to ask you a question. Why do you think they did it?
It was an act of terror. I mean, extreme act of terror. They thought they can scare the Jews into submission. But they made a big mistake. They didn't scare them. They made them mad. I mean, really, really mad. And now their people are paying. You know, everybody is saying, what about the people of Gaza? Well, the people of Gaza are the ones whose husbands, sons, brothers, and family, male, are the ones who attacked Israel. So nobody is innocent in Gaza. Nobody. Did you know they were celebrating on 7th of October when their own people were murdering the Jews and burning them alive and raping them? The Gaza people, the children and the women, were celebrating with candies. It's on video. It's not hidden. It's on video. And they took the video. So please, to speak about they are innocent, bull crap. Do me a favor. In Dresden, 25,000 Germans were incinerated. In Tokyo, 90,000 were incinerated in one night. One night.
Well, do you think the American people have lost their ability to have courage?
You don't have courage now. You really have very little anything. As an outsider looking in, and I love America, no, it's frightening what has changed in simply because it started with Obama and it's finishing now with Biden. But it started with Obama. The destruction of America started with Obama. He divided and he destroyed it.
Can I switch subjects for a minute, Jiggy?
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I'm happy to report my book has just been published.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Can I do a commercial brief 1 second?
Please,
Go ahead.
Go
I
for it.
love it. Go.
Well, it opened pretty. I was surprised. My publisher was surprised, but anyway, I even wrote something out, which is unusual for me. My newest book, "Ruler of the Seas," chronicles the untold real-life story of an unsung American naval hero in peace and war. Eric Dykeman, the hero, 3 times sacrificed his career prospects to ensure the supply needs of American armed forces, or to thwart Nazi or communist cabals. 5 years of research. You know, I hadn't realized this. 5 years, and 2 years of writing shows the reader that every character in this book is based on an actual person, and that all events portrayed are actually happened. And ironically, just this Monday, I found out that the government, the Navy Department, is going to release in 2025 all of the documentation to back up my story. So, but I'm really finally they agreed to it. Anyway, it's called "Ruler of the Seas." It's about his life, Eric Dykeman. That's not his real name, but it'll soon come out. He married a Venezuelan heiress who was the talk of Washington during World War II, and who was raped and killed in New York City in 1943. All true to life. It's now available on Barnes and Noble, Amazon, every place you want to be, print or as an audio book. Anyway, thank you for letting me do that.
Hey, that's awesome. No,
Wait, Don, where is the book? Let's show us the picture of the book.
What's the name of it?
No, show us the picture of the book.
IQ wants to know if you've got the book and the book handy, like a book cover or anything.
I don't have a copy. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Come on. I love it. Come on.
The only reason I found out is my publisher sent it. Oh, by the way, But the next week I hope to have it, and I hope Jiggy will let me do
Of course
another
he will
plot.
let you. What are you talking about? We want to see the cover.
Hmm. Anyway, then having said that, there's a wonderful line from Pericles' Oration to the Athenian Dead. It's the secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom is courage. And that's what I think we need in this world today, and I don't see it coming from people. And that's what scares me more. You know, if you think about it, we got in 1941, our fleet was bombed out, and what do? We went to war, and I always love the line. Roosevelt said President wanted 25,000 planes in 1942, and he got 125,000 planes in 1942. Could we do that today? What do you think, IQ?
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think you have the gumshoe. You don't have. Look, when most of the men are becoming effeminate and the women becoming male, well, it's not a good recipe. Believe me, it's not a good recipe. It's unbelievably scary, really scary.
Well, you know, the worst problem we're starting to tear each other apart. Did you see that the Senate tried to impose an ethics code on the Supreme Court, and they finally today had to back down when the Republicans stood their ground?
Yeah, but the Republicans lost in the voting. Unbelievable, really unbelievable. I swear. How could a whole movement win on abortion when they're not winning on inflation and the border being open?
But
It just shows how stupid most Americans are.
But unfortunately, it seems the issue is abortion. If you read the media and how the Republicans lost, well, you know.
Yeah, yes, because of the abortion. Yeah, but this is what I'm attacking. It shows a low level of intelligence with most American voters.
Well, you know, it's abortion is an issue, a highly personal issue. Happily, being a male, I haven't had to face it, but I do know people who have. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. Do you know that most women, when given a choice, do not have abortions?
I don't know.
Really?
Honestly, I mean, I would not answer something I do not know. I have no idea. I believe abortion should be special only if there is incest or rape, or if the woman is in danger of dying. That's the only time I believe abortion should be allowed. But I'm not a woman.
You're a male.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not a woman. So that's the point of view.
Well, when I think about it, you know, it's a scary issue. And if the Republicans don't get on the right side of it, they're going to lose in
2024, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because you have a low intelligent thinking voters. Low intelligent. I've always said, I won't change my mind now. In fact, they proved it. They proved it.
Did you also see the mention it's not going to run for re-election in West Virginia?
Yes, I saw that, and I think that's fantastic. I think he
That's
needs
very
to go.
interesting.
He needs to go.
He's the only voice of sanity on the Hill, if you think about it. I mean, the guy. By the way, you should read his video. Very, very interesting one, where he said that an office holder should be thinking about America, not his party. Very interesting comment coming from him.
Yeah, but Trump always said he was for America, not for a party. He always said. And he really stood for America. Who else did?
Well, what I really like about it, do you know he's Italian American? I didn't know. Most people don't realize it, but he's Italian American. They just drop the I. Uh, I didn't know that for quite a while, but I think so. Uh, IQ, where do you think we're going with this world? You're out there. I'm stuck here. I'm not stuck. Wrong word. I'm here in America. Uh, I wouldn't want to be any other place, Jiggy. There ain't
Look,
any other place. Maybe New Zealand, but that's a hell of a long way. Well,
look what's happening in Europe. Muslims are demonstrating in every city practically every Saturday. In every city. In support of Hamas. And they're getting away with it. Because the laws in Europe says if you incite against other human beings, it's not allowed. And yet they're allowing it. Why? Because the demonstrators are 100 times more than the police. In England, the police cannot protect the Jews. They have to protect the demonstrators, in fact. They support, not, I'm not saying legally support the demonstrators, but they are allowing the demonstrators to speak about jihad, to shout about exterminating other people, and get away with it. So the law and order part is gone. I'm talking about Europe, and the same thing in America. So when you don't have morality, you don't have belief in God, you don't have belief in decency, what have you got? The devil. The devil. You know,
I,
in the Bible, let me remind you, in the Bible, God said after the flood that he would never destroy humanity with water. But he never said he would not destroy it with fire. So wait. We're going to have fire.
IQ, let me ask you a different question. Why did the Saudis suddenly warm to the Israelis?
They didn't. They always were warm with the Israelis. You've got to understand. If you separate the Muslim mind between religion and practicality, you can figure it out. From the practical point of view, Israel is an advantage to Saudi Arabia and the Arab world. They speak Arabic, although their Hebrew is a language, but they have half of the population from Muslim and Arab countries. Half of them. They know the mentality, they speak the language, and they are comfortable to be with Arab. Another thing, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Who is the mortal enemy of Saudi Arabia? Is Iran. Why? Because Iran is Shia. Arabia is Sunni. And the Shia Iranians are against Israel also, mortal enemy. So the enemy of my enemy is also, again, my friend. And every leader in the Arab world knows that Israel is not a threat to them. You've got to understand that. It's so important. It's empirical. Empirical. Because if they are not a threat, then they're not a threat. It's too small. They're not intending to conquer anyone. They never ever mentioned that they would conquer somebody else. They never said they would exterminate anyone. It's only the Muslims who say that regularly and deliberately. So from that point of view, you shouldn't be shocked. Honestly, you shouldn't. And Muhammad bin Salman, young man, he knows that the future of Arabia cannot depend only on oil. It's not unlimited. It is limited. And especially if the West is going to go on electric. What will you do with the oil? Drink it? You can't drink it. He needs technology. Israel can provide. He needs water irrigation. Israel can provide. Israel can provide everything the Arab needs. Everything.
Well, let me ask you this question. How did Mossad miss the build-up?
Not only Mossad, military intelligence, the interior intelligence, the Americans, the Europeans, everybody missed it. But it was in plain sight. It was in plain sight. It was happening, but they never took it seriously. When you underestimate your enemy, you put yourself in peril. America underestimated Japan in 1941, or just before 1941. America underestimated China. America underestimated Russia's capability to make atom bombs. They thought it would take them a long time. It didn't take them a long time. It took them 4 years after America they had atom bombs. Every time West underestimated and every single. And that's the day. That's the day. The failure was cataclysmic and colossal. And many heads fall after the war. Because after the war, there will be investigation. And Bibi Netanyahu will lose a lot of support. A lot of support. Because it was under his watch. He can't deny it. By the way, he said he is responsible. But not only him, other people said, even the chief of staff of the armed forces said, I am responsible. Because they failed. No matter how precise, they failed. But they're recovering now. They're recovering. So we'll see.
By the way, this is very entertaining. The Hollywood Reporter has released the fact that the TV audience for the third Republican presidential debate fell off considerably on Wednesday. The CMA Awards also narrowly avoided posting its smallest viewer tally ever. The Republican debate aired on NBC, but not CNBC or MSNBC, and drew 7.5 million viewers on the network. Peacock and other streaming and digital platforms, that's down from 9.5 for the second debate. On Fox, Fox Business and Univision on September 27th. NBC did slightly outdraw the total for just Fox News. From the last debate, streaming and digital platforms accounted for the remaining 640,000 viewers. The September event, in turn, fell off from 13 million viewers. Here's the deal. Somebody's got to con Trump into doing the next debate. That's what we got to do. Pay the man. He's always said he would. He's always said he would take a check. I remember one time when they were trying to con him into doing one of those wars. He said, "Here's the deal. I'm not going over there because it won't financially benefit me." And I often have said, the New World Order should have just sent him a check. Here's how you get him to go to the next debate. Send the man a check.
Yeah.
Send the man a check, and he'll go up there and kill all them mofos like Friday the 13th. And
hey, what is it? Money talks.
That's right.
No, why not?
Pay him. Who's got the next debate? Let's say it's Fox. Send him a check.
Well, no, it's Megan Kelly. I just saw something that she's going to be and News Nation has the next
News Nation. Send him a check. If you guys can hire Chris Cuomo and some of those guys, you've got money. Send Trump a check.
Oh.
Have Mancow moderate the debate. Send Trump a check. Do something.
I'll tell you what, if
Personally,
Trump joins any
something different. I
there
charge
will be the highest rating ever in history.
like you do a championship a boxing match. You say if you want to see the debate, it costs you $10.
That's right.
Yeah, I bet you more people would show up. What is it? What do they always say? People, if you give something free to somebody, they don't value it as much as if they had paid for it.
That's right. You got to pay for it. That's right. I just think somebody ought to just pay Trump to show up at the next one. Say, hey, we'll get a hold of him or get a hold of Roger Stone or whoever is running his campaign and say, hey, we will donate some money to the campaign. We need him there. And then
Easily $1 million. Easily
do
$1
it.
million.
Do it. Give his campaign $1 million and say, hey, we'll give your campaign $1 million. Or, since he's doing all this stuff with all these legal things, we'll donate to your defense fund
$1 million.
$1 million. And, do all this stuff under the table and make this a-hole sign a contract, because you know what would happen. He'd take the money and not show up. Here's what you do. You make him sign a contract. You do this under the table. And then magically, a week before the next debate, he comes on TV, or he gets on Twitter, or he gets on Troth, as he calls it, Troth Social. And he announces, I've seen enough. I've got to go to this next debate. These people are lying. These people are ruining the country. The Republican Party deserves better. And then, bam, he shows up. That's it. That's all you got to do. I just booked the debate. News Nation, send me a check. While you're making out checks, send one to me, Don and IQ. So we just booked the debate for you, baby.
Jiggy, well, what's the sign behind you? Media? Is that
Transmedia Worldwide. It is commonly referred to as an umbrella company. That's what all the kids say. That's what all the kids say when they talk about companies. It's kind of our umbrella company. We've got Don Mazzella with us today, who has a brand new book, which is just, forget about War and Peace. Read Don's new book. We've got IQ Al Rizzoli, who I agree with Don. Those writings that you're doing, IQ, just turn that into a book. You've already got it done. I want
to ask both of you a question. What are you thinking of what happened with the news media press who were with the terrorists? Or did you hear what's happening?
I did not hear about this.
You're joking.
What happened
biggest
here?
Thing now in the news. There were press representatives of CNN and Associated Press with Hamas attacking in Israel. You didn't hear that?
I must have missed this.
I didn't hear. What did he say?
Google it now. It's unbelievable. This is the biggest thing in the news today. Representatives of the press for CNN and Associated Press, who were Muslims in Gaza, joined Hamas in attacking Israel and taking video.
Jiggy, what did he say? I'm sorry.
You cut out there, IQ.
How could it be? I don't understand. Okay. If you Google press guilty in supporting Gaza, Hamas.
I will do that right now.
Do it now.
Press guilty. There we are. Look at that. Pulled it right up. Guilty of supporting Hamas
invasion.
Hamas. Let's see here. There's all sorts of things going on here.
No. CNN and Associated Press, definitely.
Under scrutiny over Gaza, Israeli points to the... No, that's not it. I'll find it. But so
number one.
So IQ, give us the bare bones on this thing. Why I pull this up.
They have freelance reporters. You understand me so far?
Yep. They have got a couple.
These freelance reporters are Palestinian Muslims who were supposed to report to CNN and the Associated Press.
Yes.
They joined literally on motorcycles and on vehicles the attack on Israel and the taking away of the hostages. And they videoed it. It's on video. They created their own video. Nothing is hidden anymore. Nothing.
Okay. Well,
clearly, if you're saying that there's instances where they've actually participated in some of the atrocities, you're right, and the Israelis have become very wary. I know they've doubled the requirements for press credentials. If I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying, IQ, that they're doing more than just reporting in the news right now for CNN, Associated Press.
They're not reporting, they're joining and participating, yes.
Yes. Well, you see that the CNN fired this guy that was caught kissing the
Very
Hamas
funny.
leader?
Very funny. They fired him. He's in Gaza. How did they fire him? Tell me.
Well, what can I say? It's a strange world we're living in.
Yeah, I
I'm,
told you.
I'm,
Sending
I'm,
models deserving of destruction.
well,
Yes.
you know, we used to have two gay, at NBC News, there were two gay reporters, national reporters. And what those guys went through. But, and now most of them seem to be gay. You know,
Wow.
no, it's
That's
true.
awesome.
You know, look at these guys. They look at you so intently in the screen. You wonder, do they go home to wives or pals? But that's okay. It's if in this world today, being gay is okay.
Not only is it okay, it's protected more than you are protected.
I'm not. I'm a white male. Theoretically heterosexual. At least my wife says so.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. We have got Don Mazzella with us today, the fantastic IQ Hour Rizzoli. So as we wrap up here, let's start with IQ. What did you think of today's show, and how in the world do we get your books, my friend?
Always a pleasure to have all three of us together. Literally, always better than anybody coming in as a guest. Because we explore many, many subjects. And to get my books, if you want to know about Hamas, if you want to know about Islam, you have to read my books. It's a trilogy. Lifting the Veil, The True Faces of Muhammad and Islam. Volumes 1, 2, and 3 on Barnes & Noble and in Amazon. Believe me, any one of them will open your eyes more than any professor in the history of books. And that's the fact. Back to you, Don.
So, Don, we were talking about the book earlier, which at some point we
I'm going to
have.
say it again. Ruler of the Seas is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local book store. Also, you know, the National Robotics Education Foundation, the-nref.org, and of course, 2sbdigest.com. And always a good show with you, Jiggy. Even if we don't have a guest, at least we have a good one in IQ.
One question.
Yes.
How did you damage your hip? Did you fall in the bathroom?
Yeah, how the hell did you break your hip or damage your hip, Don?
I just walking across the floor. The floor was a little slippery, and I just fell.
Oh, no. That sucks.
Yeah, and then I fell twice more till the ambulance came, and then they took me to the hospital. But thankfully, I'm out of the hospital. I'm hobbling around, but I haven't been able to do a lot of the stuff that I usually do, including editing IQ. The only thing I ever do with IQ is find a better lead. Because
this is what I was expecting from you. I never received anything.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, go ahead, IQ.
This is why I sent you my article to give me the heading. But I haven't received anything from you for a long time.
I'll try to start helping you again. But I'll tell you, just what you have now, you've got a book there.
Fantastic. I'll take care of that.
That's awesome.
God bless you both, and see you next week.
Definitely. We'll talk to you guys then. There goes Don Mazzella, IQ Hour Rizzoli, the fantastic.